Renting inflatables to millionaires. For $5,000, you're watching someone else's kid bounce in a $200 inflatable castle while you're making $45 an hour. And you don't realize you're looking at a permission slip. That inflatable isn't a toy. It's a client avatar wearing neon mesh. And the reason you're stuck in the $200 to $500 party circuit isn't because the market is small. It's because you've been fishing in the wrong pond your entire career. 3 years ago, Marcus from Atlanta was running the same backyard party grind you probably are now. Birthday gigs, corporate team building events, the occasional wedding reception. He'd load his cargo van at 6 a.m., set up in neighborhoods where parents paid him in checks that sometimes bounced. One Saturday in June, everything shifted. Not because he got better at inflatables, but because he asked one question that nobody else had bothered to ask. Who rents these things when money is completely irrelevant? The answer was sitting in a country club parking lot 20 minutes from his house. What Marcus discovered was a parallel market running at a completely different price tier. When you move from backyard parties to estate events, the economics invert. Suddenly, you're not negotiating with parents who've budgeted $300 for entertainment. You're working with event planners who have six-figure budgets. You're renting to people who own multiple properties. You're competing against exactly zero other inflatable companies because none of them ever looked up from the residential market. The first luxury rental he landed was $1,800, a poolside event at a private residence. 20 guests, one custom inflatable water slide setup, the kind that took him 3 hours to design and 2 days to fabricate. He thought it was an outlier. It wasn't. By month 3 of pivoting his business model, Marcus was regularly booking events at $2,400 to $3,200. By month 8, he hit $5,000 per event. The number of gigs he was running per week actually decreased. He was busier than ever, but with fewer clients, less stress, and, this is the part people never talk about, a completely different caliber of human being to work with. Here's what most people in this space never understand. Wealth doesn't just change the price tag, it changes the entire transaction. When you're renting to a middle-class family for a birthday party, you're dealing with price sensitivity. You're managing expectations constantly. You're negotiating add-ons. You're dealing with cancellations 2 days before the event because the weather forecast shifted. You're fighting parents who think they can negotiate you down by 40%. You're cleaning up after people who treat your equipment like communal property. When you're renting to someone with a net worth in the 8 figures, the entire dynamic flips. They don't ask how much it costs. They ask what's possible. They don't negotiate. They ask if you can do it bigger, better, more custom. They don't cancel because of weather. They rent weather protection along with your inflatables. And they don't treat your equipment like a rental. They treat it like a service. The luxury event market is running on a completely different fuel source, status. Your inflatable setup at a Millionaires estate event isn't an afterthought entertainment purchase. It's a statement piece. It's architecture. It's the detail that gets photographed and mentioned in conversations. It's what makes people say, wait, that's how you got that set up? And that status marker is worth money. Real money. But here's where most people fail to pivot. They think the jump is just about changing their marketing or their pricing. It's not. The jump requires you to understand that you're not selling inflatables anymore. You're selling experience design. You're selling solution finding. You're selling the person who shows up at 8 a.m. with equipment and leaves at midnight with a client who's already planning to call you for next year's gala. Marcus started building a different way. He stopped listing inflatable types on his website. He started showing photographs of luxury estates with his installations integrated into the landscape design. He stopped competing on hourly rates. He started competing on customization and problem solving. A client would ask, "Can we do a water feature that ties into the pool?" Instead of saying no or charging extra, he'd already be sketching solutions. The equipment investment didn't change much. What changed was how he positioned it. A $3,000 inflatable water slide that he was renting for $400 at backyard parties? That same slide, branded as part of a custom aquatic experience package at a private estate event, suddenly had a $2,500 rental tag because he was solving a different problem for a different class of buyer. The real skill? Though, the one that separates people who make $50,000 a year from this business and people who make $250,000 a year is knowing how to navigate the ecosystem where wealthy people actually rent. Event planners, country club managers, corporate retreat coordinators, luxury wedding planners. These are your actual distribution channels. One relationship with a single event planner who books 3 luxury events per month means you're looking at $7,500 to $15,000 in monthly revenue from one contact. But here's the part that makes most people uncomfortable. You have to actually position yourself as high-end first. If you show up to an event planner's office with a portfolio of backyard parties, you've already lost. They won't even call you back. The market can smell inventory and insecurity from 3 miles away. Marcus spent 2 months doing free installations for 3 estate events. Free. The first event got photographed for a local lifestyle magazine. The event planner who organized it started recommending him to others. By month 2 of doing free work, he had a backlog of $5,000 bookings. And this is where it gets complicated, because the uncomfortable truth is sitting right in front of you now. Wealth isn't a direct result of hard work at the commodity level. It's a result of positioning yourself in the right ecosystem and understanding the unspoken rules that govern that ecosystem. You can work twice as hard doing backyard parties and make a fraction of what you'd make doing one estate event per month for someone wealthy. The inflatable doesn't change. The market does. You're not actually getting richer by working harder. You're getting richer by moving upstream. Tropicalbounce.com